Taiwan truly is a hidden gem with many facets. Let me show you why. Don't go to Taiwan for a vacation if you expect it to be just like America. You should be willing to explore new cultures. Remember though, in Taiwan, even if you don't speak Chinese, you'll be okay. 不会说中文吗？没问题. Also, don't go to Taiwan if you only want one type of vacation. Taiwan's not the place for you if you just want to stick around in one place. You can go swimming, you can go mountain hiking, you can ride a scooter, you can go to a museum. There's a lot to do there. 台湾有各式各样的活动. Finally, you shouldn't go to Taiwan if you're the sort of person that insists on staying the same your whole life, because Taiwan's going to change you. The way of life, the different attitudes of the people will give you a fresh perspective on your own life and make it richer. And remember, the population of Taiwan isn't only ethnic Chinese, but also Hakka people and also several different tribal peoples, and you can learn so much from all of them. Go to Taiwan, enjoy yourself. When Americans travel to Taiwan, there are a few things we should take note of. Taiwanese people are some of the friendliest people on earth. They're very non-confrontational and they're very easygoing. 但是美国人去台湾之前，应该考虑一下一些事情. Make sure that you're not insisting that Taiwan be exactly like it is back home. 你刚才说什么？你想吃火锅？火锅是什么？ That's a reputation that unfortunately we Americans sometimes take with us, that we want things to be the same wherever we go as it is back home. And we Americans are sometimes too direct in the way we speak. For example, we may say something like, 哇，太热了吧，太潮湿，你可不可以开冷气? Taiwanese are much more tolerant of the heat than we are and might be surprised that we would ask so directly. Another thing that we Americans do that might surprise some Taiwanese is to be so direct in saying no to certain requests. Usually a Taiwanese person will try to be a little bit more subtle about it. 我们美国人可以从台湾人学点委婉的方式来回答他们的问题. Don't immediately say no to a request. Try to find a more subtle way to respond, such as, that sounds great, but I'm a little busy today, maybe another time. At least that gives them face. I think the key for this is for us Americans to be much more open to the new culture we're experiencing when we go to Taiwan. 我们与台湾人互动时，我们美国人可以遵循黄金法则. Remember, Americans, Taiwan is not our country. 我们是台湾的客人, so we should act like guests. So there are a lot of videos out there from foreigners about why Taiwan is a great place to live. What I want to talk about today is why is Taiwan a great place for vacation? 为什么台湾是个度假好地方? There are three great reasons. The first is that 台湾的景点跟风景很漂亮，很有意思. There's a lot of interesting places you can go to. Number two, the food is amazing in Taiwan, especially because I'm a vegetarian. 在台湾吃素很方便. Number three, and perhaps the most important, is that Taiwanese are so nice. 台湾人很善良，真的有人情味儿. And bonus reason number four, 台湾的天气好, and I do love warm weather. 那你就可以选择台湾去旅行. Today I wanted to talk to you about how Taiwan and the Taiwanese people changed. There won't be any politics today. I don't want to talk about that. I want to talk about the people. And often you'll find I will say Taiwanese Chinese. And the reason for that is that the majority of Taiwanese that you will meet are ethnic Chinese, are also culturally Chinese, and that plays a big part in this. Ever since I was young, I was really interested in Asia and Asian things, and especially in Chinese things. In fact, my middle name is Chinese. My father gave it to me. My father was a poet, and he took the name from the I Ching. Anyway, by the time I was in high school, I was already interested in studying Chinese, but our school didn't have a Chinese program. So my father actually bought me my first textbook and tape recordings, and I used them to start a little bit. Also in high school, I had friends that were of Chinese, Taiwanese descent. And then in college, I studied music, and there I met many people from Taiwan, including my future wife. One of the things that struck me about the students from Asia, and especially the Taiwanese that I met when I was in college, was how caring of people they were. I have always found that they have a very high EQ, or emotional quotient, and there are other values that I really like. For example, in America, we're very independence-minded. We really love our freedom, which I think is a great thing. But in Asia, and especially Taiwan, you'll find a very strong emphasis placed on the family and on the team. So you care about your family, you care about your people. And I found that really important. Many of the friends that I have from that time in college are still my friends now. Another interesting point is that Chinese history and culture goes back at least 3,000 years and maybe 5,000 years. And when you go to Taiwan, you'll find that those cultural traditions are cherished and affirmed. When you go to Taiwan, you'll find a really cool mixture of traditional and modern elements. For example, Taiwan upholds those traditional values, the traditional religious practices, some of the cultural holidays like the New Year celebrations, etc. But at the same time, Taiwan is really convenient and modern. In some ways, more modern than America. You have the high-speed rail, you have the convenience of 7-Elevens where you can buy almost anything, and then not only do you have great Asian, Chinese, Taiwanese food, but you'll also find great Western food in Taiwan, which was a surprise to me. And me being a vegan, I was especially surprised how many vegetarian and vegan restaurants there are in Taiwan, and the price is incredible too. But the main way Taiwan and Taiwanese people changed me was that, on the one hand, Asia and Taiwan is very different from what we know in the West. But the Taiwanese people themselves are so accepting and understanding of different values, and more than that, they're eager to learn about them. It doesn't mean they're going to copy you, but they absorb that. And from that, I learned how to be a more caring and more empathetic person. I really believe that my contact with my Asian friends, and especially my Taiwanese and Chinese friends, have helped me in that regard. My contact with Taiwan and Taiwanese has really raised my EQ over the years. The last thing I would just say is, if you have a chance, go to Taiwan. It is part of Asia, but at the same time, it's its own place, unlike any other. And the people are unique too. Even if you can't go to Taiwan, if you have a chance to interact with Taiwanese people, I think you'll get a little sense of what I've been talking about today. If you're planning on a trip to Taiwan and you're a vegetarian, you've probably been wondering, what's it going to be like when you get there? 如果你想去台湾去旅行的话，然后你吃素，你可能会很好奇，台湾有没有素食的餐厅？ The answer is yes, they do, and a lot of very good ones. If you don't want to spend a lot of money, you can go to 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven 买得到素食的东西. But before you go to Taiwan, you have to buy an airplane ticket. When you do that, make sure you get a special meal. 你要订的是 VOML, 那是素食餐. You will find that Taiwanese are very accepting of vegetarianism and veganism. 他们很会接受这个素食的概念. If you have any trouble finding a restaurant, just ask a local and I'm sure they'll know where a good one is. 还有，我觉得台湾的素食餐最好吃，很棒. Although it is easy to find vegan and vegetarian restaurants in Taiwan, I still recommend doing a little bit of research. 你可以去那个 Happy Cow 的网站. You'll see a lot of options there and a lot of reviews. Knowing that Taiwan is a welcoming place for vegans and vegetarians makes it even more attractive to travelers like us. 就算你不是吃素的人，我觉得你会发现在台湾吃素超级棒。 Today we're talking about 3 habits we absolutely have to adopt from Taiwan in our daily lives. Be sure to stick with me till the end because I'm sure these tips will help you in your life. First up, let's talk about manners. Asian people in general are very polite, but Taiwanese are the king of politeness. For example, when a Taiwanese person hands you something, they will always use 2 hands to show respect. 还有台湾人是排队的高手. They really line up for everything, and it's always orderly and polite. Imagine if we did that in the West, how much trouble we might avoid. And Taiwanese even seem to follow the golden rule when making requests. They tend to formulate it in terms of a question that would affect you rather than a direct request. The other thing that Taiwanese do extremely well is practice gratitude. 台湾人很会说不好意思. Even before asking a question, they want to make sure that they're not troubling you. And just in general, Taiwanese often say thank you and show true appreciation for even the smallest things. We know that practicing gratitude makes our lives happier. Maybe the Taiwanese are onto something. And the third thing, and this one is a biggie, is Taiwanese value community over competition. Taiwanese know how to look out for each other, and they welcome foreigners and guests into the fold very quickly as well. It's very common for neighbors to share food that they made for each other, to think of an elderly person they know and go help them out, in general to value the family and the community, because they know 支持你的家人，支持你的人会帮助全部的社会. You'll even find this sense of community in their business dealings. Taiwanese tend to value collaboration over cutthroat competition. Imagine if we could bring that attitude into our daily lives. So those 3 things, a sense of good manners and politeness, bringing gratitude into life, and a sense of community are things that really impress me with the Taiwanese. 我很清楚改变你的生活习惯不容易, but I bet if we took a lot of these habits into our lives, even if we did it little by little, we'd end up being happier people.
Now, if you ask most Americans, what do you know about Taiwan? They will probably say computer chips, and maybe they will say boba tea, 就是珍珠奶茶. But beyond that, they really don't know much about Taiwan. And then when we Americans think of Asian countries, we often think of China and Korea and Japan, but we don't often think of Taiwan, and I think that's a big mistake. 就算台湾比较小，人口比较少，我们美国人千万不要低估台湾. We Americans feel like we're such a huge country, and we are, and we do have a big population, we do have a strong military, but just because you're bigger and just because you're strong doesn't mean you're always right. Let me ask you something. What do you think is one of the most special things about Taiwan? To me, it's that they preserve those traditional values which have lasted over so many thousands of years. 这个情况让我想到我年轻的时候，我的朋友圈 there were some people that were loud and boisterous, and there was one friend I had who was really kind of quiet. 但是那个人很聪明，很优秀. The problem is, once everybody got loud and started talking and laughing and joking, this person got more quiet. So it was too easy to ignore that person, unfortunately. I feel like the situation is similar to Taiwan. The importance of the family, the importance of the team, supporting each other. 我们美国人很珍惜我们的自由. We're the most freedom-loving people in the world, probably. 但如果你太珍惜你的自由感的话，有可能你会太自私或自我中心. So I think we can learn a lot from Taiwanese. You have to be willing to give a little to get a little. If you give a little, support your family, support people on your team, you'll find that Taiwanese will return that. 是我觉得如果我们能够学习这些价值观的话，我们的社会就会变得更好。